Welcome to the Dice Dragons Guild. In this hall, we unite under one banner. Live by the die.
Die by the die.
Got an 11.
Nice. When last we left off, our group of reluctant adventurers had finished enjoying the 3-day-long celebration of happiness and laughter known as the Joy Festival on Yamari Island. And just in time as it appeared that the joy was over. As the fireworks flashed overhead, an assassination was taking place in the crowd gathered around the town square stage. Screams broke out as the mob shifted, and unsuccessful attempts were made to apprehend the assassin while one of the Apranan ambassadors succumbed to their wounds and apparent poisoning. At the same time, festival goers who had chosen to spend their last evening in the hot springs staggered back to town claiming to have been attacked by monsters, but that was impossible. The blessing of Yamari in the form of the well-known wine-tailed langur monkeys protected the island and surrounding waters from any form of predator or monstrosity. Unwilling to take any chances, the Valiant and Cassian Guard military units working in tandem with the town's guard, the Balstead Hammer, moved quickly to coordinate getting all individuals into stable structures as opposed to the tents that are lining the main road called Joy Run. At the same time, trying to usher the ambassadors of Eporia and Aprana to safety while keeping them separated. You agreed to accompany Amaret, the highest-ranking Valiant soldier in the village, to the hot springs to see if claims of monsters were true and save any survivors. Any doubts quickly dissipated as you were attacked by strangely mutated versions of the pygmy wild boars native to the island. Tentacles crowded the mouths of these monsters, and arrival at the hot springs pitted you against a giant version, acid dripping from the lamprey-like suckers at the ends of the appendages. You gathered evidence of the monstrosities and headed back to Balstead village, unfortunately without survivors. Entering the dimly lit town square with Amaret leading, you are approached by Dan Perler, Dafifi Big Toe, and a member of the Cassian Guard, a half-elf, half-orc you have yet to be introduced to. And Eldon, there's something about the way this group is walking towards you that brings you back. Ellie, come on. You have your shoes? Your mother leans down and runs her flattened hand along the little cowlick that she's never been able to tame on the back of your head. Come, get ready. This is a very important day, and we do not want to be late. Your heart was racing, though you really didn't know why. Excitement mixed with fear of the unknown, but it was all good things today. Today was the day that special people would be chosen to take up a special charge. And you just knew that you were going to be one of those people. Your mom and dad have been telling you how special you were your whole life. So, yeah. You heard them saying the same thing to your little brother and sister, but you were the first. You were the first special one. Ellie, let's go, boy. Your father, wearing his workday best and his merchant's badge, scooted you forward and out the door while your mother rounded up your siblings. Rainy, Billy, go. And you then were all on your way with the rest of the folks from Stoneyard towards the center of town. A bit on the warmer side today, despite the overcast skies blocking the full light from the woven suns. You could see you weren't the only one who was excited. The buzz of conversation filled the square as more people arrived. Parents hovered over their children and could be seen having quiet conversations with them, like what your parents were about to do. Okay, Ellie, stand up straight, look forward, be respectful, but be yourself. Be confident. You are special. Even if they decided this is not your year, you are still just as special. Your parents nervously talked over each other. Your mother tried again to flatten the cowlick. You have no idea if she was successful, because you can't see the back of your own head. Line them up! Come on, kids! One of the town leaders coordinated to bring the children towards the center of the square. You looked back at your mom and dad and brother and sister, your mom shooing you along with the wave of her hand, and then you were standing in the line, wide-eyed, looking around at the other kids, looking at all the adults who were proudly smiling on the sidelines, looking ahead, waiting. And then they appeared, dressed in leathers and capes, their longbows stretching high up on their backs, swords sheathed on their sides. They stood tall and poised, the keepers of the Vastgan Mountains, protectors, heroes. And behind the three humanoids came their drakes. Walking behind their masters, they exuded the same air of confidence. Your eyes widened as you saw that the drake following the middle keeper even had wings. Captivated by the creatures, it took a moment for your eyes to make their way back to the keepers themselves. And as you look back to the one in the center, a broad-shouldered green dragonborn with large, ridged horns that point back and upwards, his eyes met yours. His head tilted slightly, never breaking eye contact. And he marched right up to you, stopping about 2 feet away. His other two companions and their drakes staying a couple of meters back. And you stared at each other, you staring up, him down. It seemed like forever, but probably was only a second or two. And then you saw the corners of his mouth curl up into a smile. And you couldn't help but smile back. And you're reminded of this as you see Defifi Big Toe on one side, Dan Perler on another, and a somewhat smirking half-orc, half-elf wearing the Cassian Guard clothing as they march up to your group in the darkness of the Balsted night. Amaret steps forward, and she has the piece of tentacle in her hand as she just kind of holds it up. You hear the half-orc, half-elf soldier just comes forward. Walking around with citizens, eh, Emmy? Is that right? And she and she just kind of like shakes her head, looks at Dan, who steps forward and just says, Tamara went home. She's not out and about. We got her to go into her house. And you see it. Amaret is just like, good. So, Thith was out there. And she holds up this, the tentacle. You see the orc, half elf, wood elf. What you see of him, he's very tall, but not as tall as you would expect of a full orc. He's got this like greenish skin, but there almost seems to be this like interesting organic, it almost looks like leaves, like kind of like detailed on the sides of his face. It's got wavy hair, kind of like the heavy brow, but still there's these like the more elven kind of smooth features.
Are they actual part of his skin, or is it like a tattoo?
It's hard to tell. It's like they're there and then they're not. It's he has, from what you, not so much you, but definitely the three of you anyway. Kethra, Ayla, Iolite. There's like a wood elf. Like you can just tell from the nature aspect, just from all the people that you've seen come through here. Likely a half orc, half wood elf, and then also Iolite.
We don't know shit.
Being from Cassia, in general, you do know that there's a lot of half goblin, half orc, half elf. Like there's a lot of orc and
That's
goblin folks that have mixed with the elven and human side, where you see a lot of half orc, half goblin, half halfling,
It's like a Rottweiler and a feral Chihuahua.
That's really common in Cassia, as Cassia has expanded more towards the west, where like Lindumia and other regions that are more heavily orc and goblin and hobgoblin and whatnot, they kind of like moved towards the east and have come together. Kalia, not so much. But anyway, I was trying to pull him up so I could look at him. But anyway, you all are standing there as they begin to have this conversation. Dan kind of gives this rundown to Amarat, just saying, we've gotten as many people as we can into stable structures. The ambassador from Eporia is very adamant that she and her family are allowed to go home as soon as possible. They want to leave tomorrow. Amarat is like, that's not going to be possible. Not going to be possible. We need to understand what's going on before we can move anyone out of the village. And Dan just nods and says, I have tried to communicate that. As you can imagine, the Pranan ambassador also does not want to be here anymore. He is accusing the ambassador from Eporia of coordinating this assassination of Ambassador Bronzebeard. And there's nothing we can point to say that they are not incorrect. So we have kept them separated. The Ambassador Stonefist and the body of Ambassador Bronzebeard is in the town command, and the ambassador and her family from Eporia are in the Smiling Eyes, in their home, in their room. And we are trying to convince them to stay. Unfortunately, just before the final event, Steward Adrio sent the all-clear message via the sending stone to Mosswick. So, one use, it has been used. Effectively, tonight we are here in the village. It's not safe to move forward.
I feel like the little kid in the room when like the parents are talking about really important shit and like we're forgotten about. We're like,
this sounds bad.
You see Dafifi steps forward and she's like, we did do some research into trying to find out where the assassin went. We found to the north there was a trail of blood. However, it is dark. It is real dark out there. And so we don't believe that it is a smart move. There are only, 10, 12 of us guards here, guards and military all together. That is not enough to protect hundreds of people. So, Ami, I don't know what you want to do about that, but to the north, maybe in the morning. So the soldier in the middle, who has not been introduced yet, just kind of reaches out and takes the tendril out of Amarat's hand and just holds it up, looking at all of you, looking at Amarat.
is it still dripping acid?
It's not dripping. It's dripping out of the bottom, like it's not being held at an acid area.
You guys.
Yeah, no, he just says, well, what about this then? His accent's gonna change over and over because I don't do fucking accents. So.
Like, where'd the Australian go?
They're all Australian to me. There's no monsters on this island, right?
Apparently there are now.
If there are monsters on this island, that means there are no monkeys on this island.
We did not hear them. It was uncomfortably quiet.
Amarat just kind of goes like, shh. Morden, keep your voice down. Last thing we need is to cause a panic amongst all these people hearing that the monkeys are gone.
We don't know if they're all gone.
That's true. See? Keep positive attitude.
Well, what is the significance of these monkeys? You say they keep monsters and bad things away from the island?
Did you want to answer it?
Monkey good.
Morden,
Monker.
Morden, holding the tendril, just looks at you. He's like, yeah, pretty much. They keep
I could make
things
that answer.
safe. The locals like to say that Yamari herself has given the blessing in the form of these monkeys, but new accent, just rolling right into it.
I like to think that this is just a well-traveled man.
He's
He's just been all around the world.
He's all over.
He doesn't even notice that he's going in and out of different accents.
He's from a port city, so
Yeah.
he's
Right.
He's gonna start speaking pigeon next.
Yeah. Crikey, these monkeys.
I mean, really, the only one who would know for sure, right, would be Yamari herself. Maybe. What about Kaylin, the hunter?
I do not know where she is. Presumably in one of the buildings.
Maybe in the morning we can get her and discuss.
Do you think this was coordinated? Someone cleared the monkeys and set those loose as a distraction.
Well, I really don't know. Really, any theory at this point is a good theory, right?
well, seems like we have two problems. The monsters on the island as well as the assassination attempt. I mean, coincidence is one thing, but as you said, there are no monsters here, and there shouldn't be any assassination attempts. We have to assume they're connected until otherwise.
Not an attempt, right? One of them's dead. We've had
Success
our
then.
people look. We can't bring them back. Whatever this poison is. Not that we had the supplies immediately, but
I would do what you can to keep the other ambassadors under some sort of protection guard if you can.
well, we're trying. But the problem is, there's only 10 of us. There's hundreds of people here. So, we have people stationed down at the end of Joy Run. 2 going in pairs as much as we can. We've got people around the perimeter. Very few of us. We could use any help. You seem capable enough. Kept Ami alive. She just kind of like rolls her eyes at that. It's like,
Aye, we can
One of them
handle.
turned into a fucking bear!
yeah, they're very capable.
If you need help, we'll supply it.
Emerald looks at you. She's like, there's no pressure.
We'll do what we can.
You have been very. I appreciate what you have done so far. On the way to Balstead and here.
We'll see what else we can do.
She looks at Dan, you see for a second, and she said, "Low levelers." And he looks and is like, "Ah, well, if you are as capable as Morat says, perhaps there would be space for you in the Valiant. And Morden, the Cassian Guard, says, or the Cassian Guard, right? Yes, any interest?
No, thank you.
You don't have to answer now.
I'll answer.
We've got a lot ahead of us. I can't sign any right now anyway. I don't have my clipboard.
I don't have room for it in my inventory.
I'm encumbered.
See that
I
he's just
will.
like in a video game when you move super slow. After he picks up one notepad.
So yeah, Dan says, you don't have to answer right now. Just something to think about. There's always room for, we could see how far you could go with your skills. The Valiant and the Cassian Guard are available to help train as needed.
No, might not be the time.
Of course, we can't sign you up right now anyway. He doesn't have a clipboard. Just something to think about.
Yes, no, the answer will still be no. Might as well help tonight. I can't go home and I have nothing else to do unless the bar is open.
Well, Smiling Eyes of the Patient Fae might be open, but...
Looks at everybody. I guess we're helping.
So, are you helping? Is everyone helping? Are you going to go to sleep? Are you going to stay up? If you stay up, you will have a point of exhaustion in the morning. You don't have to. It is completely up to you what you do.
I'll help for an hour and I'm going to go to sleep.
Okay. So you're going to, like, pretend to help a little. Okay.
I was gonna take that sword that was tossed at me and just be like,
Can we take like shifts, like a watch or something like that?
You can.
Will that'll give us the point of exhaustion still?
If you stay up, basically, if you only do like a 2-hour shift, then you'll get your 6 hours of sleep.
Okay. I mean, it's not like these guys don't get started until 11 anyways. It'll be fine.
So are you going to kind of take?
normal non-murder day.
I'll see. I'll go to bed at like 5 in the morning. I'll still get all my rest.
Are you going to take shifts, as in like one person is up at a time, or are you? What's
Shift
everybody
doing what? Just walking around?
Guarding. Yeah. Guarding with the guards.
Eldon's gonna do it regardless of whatever.
Are you going to do a full night, or are you doing?
No,
a
he's
2-hour
gonna
shift?
he'll do a 2-hour shift.
Okay.
Figure that's enough to make him look decent in the eyes of these guards.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay. Feeling tired.
Kai will also do a shift.
Okay.
I'm going to bed.
Ladies are going to bed.
I know all the women go like, but I'm sleepy.
Are you going to
You
go to
met-
bed or
I
you
don't
not?
care how
An
I
hour?
look to anybody.
Men can go do the guard duty.
Got a little tired as the bear.
I'll do an hour of walking around.
We made us all up. It's okay. I just realized
All
we're
right.
2 minutes.
Hey, I closed out the festival, okay?
Fair point.
So, the 3 ladies kind of like, let's see. When you head back to are you going to go back to the Patient Fae, or are you going to go with them?
Back to the patient face. She's going to sleep.
Okay. So, what all of you will have discovered is that your rooms are not your rooms. There are people there.
Oh, hell no.
So, your beds are probably already claimed, but there is space to sleep. You will get a full night's sleep. It's just your room is not your room anymore.
Who's in my
This-
bed?
Some random person.
Some rando.
Randos in the bed.
Can I get him out of my
I was
bed?
going to say, can you come out?
So,
Can you turn
You-
into a bear again?
Get out!
Flip the whole bed with one paw.
so you head up into the room. There's your room. You had a decent sized room, so there's probably like 5 people in there right now. What are you going to do to try to get them? Like, they're in your bed. So what are you going to try to do to get them out?
It's been a hell of a night, so I am going to, like like kick like the side of the bed so that it jars them awake.
Okay.
And using thaumaturgy, I'm going to make my eyes glow a solid blue, and my voice gets much louder, and I just say, "Out of my bed."
All right. Roll an intimidation check. It is this male gnome, like an adult, only like 3 feet tall.
How does this inspiration thing work?
Can I help?
Inspired action. So you can say how you can use it to roll advantage.
Nope, I'm gonna do that. That's better. So, 18.
Okay.
My inspired action has been spent.
All right. So you get loud and you see this this gnome just kind of like eyes wide sinks deeper into the bed for a second and then just kind of like slides out the side and rolls and like scoots over. You see the other people in the room, one of who's going to be on your bed, at least one, maybe a couple folks. They just kind of all look at you, like eyes a little bit. You just see a shift in attitude as you just like sit down in bed. The other people in the room just look at you, and you see like a little bit of whispering going on.
No, they have not had my night.
Are you gonna let the person in your bed stay? Person or people? I don't
Lean
know.
over and say,
Can I sleep with you?
Are the beds big enough?
That's always big enough for two people.
Yes. Yes, that is fine.
I like cuddles up in bed with Ayla.
If anyone's still looking, I'm just glancing around.
Yeah, they're looking at you like.
and I'm just like nodding, like, yeah.
I'm gonna take the sword that he gave me that has dried pigtopus gore on it, and just like stab it into the floor next to the bed as I look at everybody who's looking at me, and then lay down. It's coming in handy.
Whatever you can use it for.
Never felt so safe.
When you head back to your room, and there are many people in there. All of the beds are full. There's people on the floor.
I'm gonna have Nyx jump up on the person sleeping on my bed and hiss in their face and try to swat at him, like, get the fuck out of my bed.
Okay.
Oh, cat.
That tends to work.
Roll intimidation for the cat.
9.
Okay.
And go to the cat.
Then go to
I don't know
Go
what
to the
it
cat
has for
stats.
I don't know what he
Cat
has
stats.
Pull up
for
those cat stats.
charisma.
Ooh, -2.
Oh.
Yep.
9.
Nyx,
I'll
so
say-
cute,
Dude,
dude.
it's a cute kitty.
So with
It was like, wow.
I'll say that the person that's in your bed, it just takes them a little bit of extra time. Like at first they're like, oh, cute, and then but when Nyx doesn't stop, it's less about like intimidation and more about like, we all know cats, and
Yeah, I want to go to bed.
yeah, they're not. They hold a grudge, and they don't stop. So it's less of it. Just takes a few. Like you're just kind of standing in the doorway watching as it takes this person probably a good 3 minutes to figure out that the cat wants them to get out of bed.
This cat doesn't like me.
Yeah. So like pushes and finally like all right, gets up. And like you need to teach your cat some manners. Goes over in the corner.
The cat's like,
As he walks away, Nyx is gonna hiss at him again, just to be an ass.
But you have your bed.
Woohoo! Thanks, cat.
All right. So, gentlemen.
Would we have gotten a short rest in the village before we start?
That depends on, I guess, what shift you take. So if you're only doing two-hour shifts, are you taking one right away, or are you gonna wait?
Eldon will probably just take one right away, to be honest.
Are you gonna take the same shift as Eldon,
Yeah,
or
Kai's gonna watch Eldon's back.
okay? So I would say no short rest as you just kind of like go. So buddy system.
Buddy! What movie?
Heavyweights.
I knew the reference. I couldn't remember the name of the movie.
So the way Dan Perler like explains that, they've got people who are like trading off shifts. So he just says, "All right, so for your shift, how about you just head down to the end of Joy Run, and you'll relieve the two that are down there. We'll send a couple of people down in 2 hours or so. If you see anything, yell." So, the two of you head down.
Eldon's got an arrow knocked on his bow.
All right. You head down
Kai's
Joy
walking
Run.
without a care.
It's much darker as you head through and through the town square and down. It seems as though like there are drift globes around the town square and still like up in the trees, but they've all been intentionally dimmed to very, very low light.
Do you need a paper towel?
Yeah.
You still see, as you're walking down Joy Run, it has gotten very quiet. There may be people staying in some of these tents. Oh my god, what is this person? Why do they do this every time?
Sorry, I get a phone call every single session. No problem. I have to get up.
Yeah, the food's here. There might be people in the tents, people who like refuse to go or whatever, but they're staying quiet if they are in there. Very much a different vibe as you walk down what is supposed to be the Joy Run.
You just start stealing shit.
Definitely could.
Give me the loot.
You
Eldon just shoveling wildflower ice cream into his face.
Yeah.
the whole 2 hour shift.
You get a little bit past the Callies and the Balstead boarding house when you see the two guards. There's one Cassian, one Valiant, and you relieve them of their duties. Like they go back. You don't have to go all the way down Joy Run. They don't want you that far.
Is anybody in the Bell? You said that was a permanent structure. So is anybody in?
Semi-permanent. It's
Okay,
like
so nobody's in there.
Yeah, it's like the structure is made of stone and wood, but the walls are all tent material.
So
like
nobody's in there.
canvas. Not that you can see. It's dark.
Okay.
If there are any people in the tents, they've been told to keep the lights off. Like the sacks that are hanging from the walls are not going to protect them from anything. So
She's playing the creepy music again.
Are they calling us about it?
yeah, I don't know why.
Did we pay online?
Even though I choose contactless delivery every time our lovely food deliverers call me, text me, and then ring the doorbell.
Sorry, I thought I was gonna have to yell at Ashley. It wasn't. It was actually Kelly. It was nice. I went to call back. I hit the button thinking it was her, and then I saw her number pop up, and I was like, "Oh, this is a pleasant surprise. I'm playing D&D." She was like, "Oh, okay."
So, yeah. So it's just kind of quiet as you both are standing there. Looking up, you can see the stars shining. Chaos, the orange moon, is kind of off and obscured by the canopy of the trees. There's a slight smell of rum in the air from Callie's, like a little bit down behind you. But it's quiet in there, it is dark in there, so
We're just out in the open. At
yeah,
the
you're
end.
just kind of out. I mean, you can go off to the side if you would like, but really it's, as you're looking down that long path of Joy Run, see all the various tents, and it's just dark. As you kind of peer down that way, you can see that the lights dim until it's just darkness.
You ever seen anything like those creatures?
Not where I'm from. I'm guessing you haven't?
No, nothing like that before.
Those tentacles with mouths. It was, very strange.
Aye. You seem to do okay with that bow.
I do alright. And you, with your, and Eldon's gonna do like a little, like, motion, because that's what you did, right? You use your hands.
Yeah, it comes out of my
And you seem to do okay. The, whatever that is.
To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure what that is. I just know it's effective.
Definitely seems to be. You really think the assassination and these monsters are connected somehow?
Too much of a coincidence. Like I said, until we find some evidence to prove otherwise, I have to assume they're connected.
We should see if the hunter, Kaylin, we should see if she can track down that blood trail from the boxer in the morning.
Perhaps we should ask her if she's noticed anything strange about the boars she hunts.
It's a good point. I didn't think of that. If anybody around here would know, it'd be somebody who spends as much time in these woods as her.
Especially, I'm not sure if the boars changed, or was it something trying to look like the boars? Too much of a coincidence that a different species of some sort of squid boar.
Oh, the steward there was talking about as much how blessed they are each year here on Yamari.
So blessed that it rains during the festival opening.
Maybe something's changed. They went from being blessed to some sort of a curse.
Or maybe it was some form of warning.
It's possible too.
I'm not familiar enough with Yamari. I don't know enough to say for sure, but looking back now, I have to think it's all connected.
You and me both. It's, the rain, the monsters, the assassination. It's all too much together.
To think if we had gotten on a different boat.
Yeah, we would have missed all the fun. What do you think of Kethra? That was interesting.
I've heard of stories who can change like that. Never actually seen for myself.
Same. I've read, but I've never seen it in person. And Iolite. That was something.
Unique.
I've never even read about that.
No. As though, like a fallen star, come to life.
Like a piece of the sky itself.
Very strange. We all arrived together.
What was all that you were talking about with Ayla yesterday? All destiny and whatnot. Maybe this is it. Maybe we were supposed to be here.
Funny thing about destiny, sometimes you're the mouse, and sometimes you're the trap.
You have such a comforting way of putting things, my friend.
It's best to be ready.
Eldon's just gonna raise his eyes to the darkness and keep watch.
And as you do see and hear a little rustling that is probably 30, 40 feet down the road. I'm going to have you both roll me a d10.
5.
9.
You both prepare yourselves, stand up as the rustling down the road. It's coming from between a couple of tents. You can't see where it's coming from. You can hear very clearly. So you both just look at each other, kind of the quiet, giving hand signals. And just kind of step forward but off to the side as the rustling is coming from the right. And it takes a second, but then a small dark shape begins to come out from between the tents. And as it does, you tense up, getting ready to attack as the head turns to look at you, and you recognize the telltale shape of a tabby cat. It's just kind of leisurely walking. It stops, looks at you, it just turns around, starts walking down the road.
Spider legs. Erupt out of its back.
No, it's just kind
Its
of
tail
I was
meow.
gonna say the tail's gonna be one of those tentacle things.
Kai, just as it gets into view, Kai's gonna just cast Detect Magic. So you
I
can
thought you
see.
were gonna say I'm gonna blast it.
Eldritch blast.
Can never be too safe.
Just Iron Man to the.
So you cast Detect Magic. All around you, there's immediately this very light and faint glow as all the flower decorations and all of these kind of temporary, very low level mundane magical items kind of glow, and perhaps they'll disappear in a couple of days, something like that. But this cat that's walking away, no glow, as its little tail is just walks down the road
Just a sassy tabby.
I don't know what you're doing out here, but it's late. You should go to bed.
This island
That is a
mine
sassy
now.
tabby.
Turn it on. It's late. You should go to bed.
What are you looking at?
Your watch goes without incident as I look at the thing that you could have rolled.
We should have just fired off on that guy. Just an arrow and a fucking eldritch blast.
Let's kick this off.
And about 2 hours later, Morden, the Cassian guard, comes down. He's got someone with him as well. Just says, anything?
No,
Quiet?
all
Good.
quiet.
That's how we like it, right? Yeah. All right, well, appreciate the help. I'd say in the morning, come to the town command. I know Amarat's going to want to talk to you.
Fine.
Probably Adrio as well. Right?
Sounds good.
Have a good night.
On the way back we were staying at the Patient Fair, right?
Yep.
Eldon's gonna turn to Kai. I'll be along shortly. There's just something I have to take care of real quick. And he's gonna peel off.
Are you sure you want to be alone at a time like this?
It'll only be a few minutes. I'm sure.
Alright, you're a big boy. Take care of yourself.
Pats his butt.
Just, I'm a big boy.
Bringing you back.
So
Special.
cow bing. Eldon's gonna find a quiet spot between two tents, and he's gonna do his thing that he was doing the other night.
Okay.
I got
Alright.
these cheeseburgers, man.
I'm gonna have you do a stealth check as you are performing your ritual, trying to be quiet. Not just quiet for anything that's out there, but I'm assuming also, since you can't go out into the woods, for Morden
Yeah.
and his...
He's just gonna find the quietest spot he can between two tents. He doesn't need like a whole lot of space or anything like that. You said stealth?
Mhm.
Is that a 2 or a 20? Or is it in the middle?
I don't know. That's
It looks dead nuts in the middle.
That's pretty much in the center. You got to roll it on like
How
a
do you
hard.
keep rolling in the center?
Because of the way it's the surface. Like there's nothing
Like
like this. I can't because this has little divots in it.
He needs like a hard, long, flat surface.
Yeah, like normal wood would probably be fine, but like this just deadens it enough, and the little points aren't as prominent.
That's definitely a 2.
Yeah,
this
that's a
time.
2. Yep. It's either a 2
Apparently
or
it
an
was your
18, and it was a 2.
destiny.
It's for a 7 total.
Okay.
To be clear, if somebody is walking around and sees him, he's not like. In this case, he's not even really trying to be super stealthy.
Yeah.
He's just not worried about anybody else. Like if guards walk by, he's not reacting or anything like that.
I'm gonna have you roll a D100.
Okay.
So you're not killing the witness.
Yeah, I'm not. It's a. That's an 8. I can just roll the D10 twice, right? Or do you have a big one back there?
I
I'll roll a big
got...
one.
Oh, yeah, I've got my D100.
Yeah. I always forget. I love rolling the fucking soccer ball of fate. Yeah.
I got all the dice in the world over here.
The soccer ball of the fates. I thought you had it available. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like make you like root around inside your bag.
All of the dice. I've got the big.
Yeah. That.
Ooh.
The prettiest.
The
Yeah, we'll
solid
go
one.
with we'll go with the pretty one.
Yeah, it's like a disco ball.
Oh, shit, that is way
It's wicked
heavier.
heavy.
So
Yeah, it's
Don't just
very
leave that
heavy.
out
I
there.
thought,
That
yeah.
one's hollow.
I remember
I
this
think that
one.
one's a solid.
God
metal
damn,
piece.
that is like.
I love that one. I bought
You
that.
could legitimately
that
kill somebody with this thing.
Wait,
I bought that one special.
I wanted to give you I'm sorry.
This.
Watch out for the wooden dice trays. This thing's
know.
gonna come in like a wrecking ball.
Yep. All right, here we go.
Funk.
I'm confident in saying that's a 62.
Okay.
Let's hope it's good.
Take a video of it. Roll
Roll it
it.
over
Oh.
here.
Roll it
Over
across
here.
the
Well, hold on. First, look at this one. Look at this. That's nothing.
That's like the destiny.
Now look at this thing.
Oh, yeah, the whole table shook.
I was gonna say,
I like
I
that
think
one.
I just upset the mic balance.
That one, I believe, is handmade. So that's the difference.
They're both really cool,
They're
but as soon as you
both- yeah.
roll me that like what is it, like rose gold or whatever, like the color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rose gold. Yeah. Those are my special D100s. It's probably $100 worth of dice right there.
What's the
This
name
one
of
is
them?
so heavy.
I was gonna say, what's the name of the ones that you do the like the?
Oh yeah, the 2 balls.
Remember that was like big for
Yeah,
a while
the-
for
the
some
giant-
reason,
yeah.
like the meditation.
Yeah.
Not, I want to say medicine ball, but I know that's the.
Yeah.
Kegel
or-
balls.
Pretty much, yeah. But they like.
Oh my
I was gonna say, I mean, I don't know what this motion is.
But no, that's how you move them. Like if you get them going at like a right pace, they actually like make a sound. Like
Yeah,
they,
yeah,
like
they
they jingle.
chime.
Yeah. I'm just trying to remember what the hell they were for.
It just
Oh,
like
the Chinese
like,
store at the mall.
they
The next
were-
store always sold.
No,
them.
they were the fidget spinners of the last generation.
That's a good point. Yeah, good call. It's
So
really.
with a 60-something that you rolled, you're like in the midst of performing your ritual, and then you do hear like the very soft footfalls.
Uh-oh. That was a look
That
of
was my
sheer-
inspiration.
Oh, that was a look
gonna
of
be that
sheer.
kind of
Oh
night.
shit! What just happened?
That's oh my god, that
Inspiration
giant
fell.
D100 just.
Rolling away.
You hear Morden's voice. He just goes, "You all right over there? Right?
I'm fine, thank you.
What are you up to?" Comes over, just stepping right behind and peering over your shoulder. You can see him like
Puff,
wave,
puff, 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 pass.
waving to the other guard behind him. Just like, "You sure you're all right? What have you got?"
Praying.
Ah,
For all of us.
right here in the middle of these tents, right?
As good a spot as any.
Yeah, you might want to take it back to your room, maybe.
I'm just about done. How far did he get into his ritual? How long did it take? Before
That's
he's
up
done?
to you. Yeah.
Hey man, what you got going on over there? You gonna share that?
What would you have out?
In this case, it would just be the bag. What would he have out? Well, excuse me, my lady. just presenting. Hey, Morden. He would just have his. It would just be the bag. It wouldn't be like the whole,
Okay.
like a whole thing.
All right.
It's like a quick and dirty version of what he would normally be doing.
Okay. So Morden just kind of like looks and it's like, I'll take a few steps back. Right, let you finish up.
I'd appreciate it.
You see him step back, and kind of like he can so far enough back onto the road where he can still see you. And he's just kind of standing there, facing more towards out along the eastern, facing east, but so that he can still just kind of look over and make sure you're good.
At the very end, it's only going to take another minute or so. He would be able to tell the directions as a ranger. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, especially because now you're familiar with which way the road goes, where the various things are situated here on the island. Yeah.
He's going to conclude his little ritual. He's on his he'll be on his knees, sitting back, on his knees, and then he's gonna both hands and he's gonna touch his forehead to the ground in the easterly direction.
Okay.
And then that's ow, fuck.
Ah!
Ooh, that sucked. Dang, dude. Oh, thankfully it didn't break off inside.
Oh, good.
But it went in. You can actually see the line where it went in, and yeah.
You got the
I'll
one
let you keep
rough
the
part of the
yeah.
table.
All right, we'll have to sand that
What do I have to
down.
roll for damage on that? Look at that went and it went in, and I don't know how it hit, and then
It needs one more coat of poly.
yeah, holy shit, huh?
Hold on, let me describe this really horrific death from a monster, but also a tiny little splinter.
Tiny.
I mean, compared to someone cleaving your head off with
In D&D terms, yeah. Yeah, that's no problem. I say.
I mean, come on. I had a splinter one time that was this big.
Okay, cute. It's not like a competition.
Legit.
If it was, you would win, but it's
Damn
not.
right.
Congratulations.
It's like that scene from
We all feel bad for you now.
Everything
I had to
Everywhere.
pull it out of my hand.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, where the guy has to give himself paper cuts between each
Oh,
of his fingers.
yeah.
It was like, ah,
Yep.
oh God, please stop.
So
Please stop.
I carry aluminum and coroplast all the time and stuff like that, and that's you ever get cut from cardboard?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but something that it's when you pick up a 10-foot piece of aluminum and you carry enough of them, just the weight of them,
Yeah.
cuts because it's got a what is that called? A wire edge on it. So if you don't put it down straight, if you move even a little bit, you know this. You worked in a sign shop.
Yep.
I wear
It'll
gloves when I move
shred.
now.
Yeah. Well, I'm not that smart. I don't have
The
gloves.
funny part about that movie is that he's trying to do it and he can't because you can never give yourself a fucking paper
Well,
cut.
it's like trying to tickle yourself. You can't.
Yeah, he's slicing and slicing, and I'm just watching, please stop. He's just not doing it. He has to do it between each of his fingers. Anyway, good movie. You should watch it. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay, so you finish up your ritual, gather yourself up, and then as you're heading back to the village, you see Morden just kind of nods. Thanks again. Have a good night. Right?
Will do.
Does he go over and inspect the spot that he was at
Yes,
a good
he
cop?
No, he definitely does that. I mean, there wouldn't be anything to see, but he goes over and just
Smells like that local skunk weed.
Yeah, he's like
just kind of kicks the dirt a little bit and walks back out. Nods to his partner as you're heading out.
I mean, I guess from his point of view, that would look kind of fucking shady.
I mean,
in
he
light
doesn't know.
in light of everything.
Yeah, he doesn't know any of you.
Maybe, but I mean, what, a man can't pray? Man
No.
can't pray?
No.
So you head back to your room. in the patient Fae. You would have arrived first. Are you trying to... Well, you didn't have a bed, so you just kind of like open your door and there's a lot of people. The smell
Atrocious.
is... it's,
Locker room-ish.
it's different from what you're used to. It's different. Lots of various smells.
If it smells, Kai's gonna use prestidigitation to make it like incense, burning smell in the room.
Okay. A couple people start coughing.
He does
Then
it.
you have that
He
to
does
deal
it
with.
up to 3 times, so he's gonna make it extra thick when he hears them coughing.
Just
It's
macing
just
everybody.
cloudy. It's cloudy in the room now.
You just chlorine gassed everybody in the room.
Mommy, my eyes.
And
It
then
smells like dragon's blood.
Eldon arrives just a little bit later. Is there anything that you're doing before bed, or you just going?
No, he's just gonna do his normal, clean prestidigitation on his clothes and everything before bed.
Okay.
Yeah, Eldon will find a spot down. If it's that crowded upstairs, he'll find a spot
Yeah,
downstairs.
it's pretty much crowded everywhere. Like, there are people in the main tavern area in both of the solid, structured taverns, sleeping on chairs. Like, there's way too many people here. With tents, it works, but to fit in the structures, you also kind of like walking back to the patient Fae, you would see that there are houses, and like you can see some of the houses in the back still have lights on, but people live in this village standard. It does appear that like people have been asked to open their homes. As many people as could be, put into these solid structures as possible for this night, while they figure out what the next steps are going to be. So people are sleeping on tables, sleeping on the floor, sleeping on chairs. So wherever you want to end up,
We'll find a corner.
you're all going to be uncomfortable, except for you. And you.
Yeah,
The ladies
we
are
got our
I am
beds.
so cozy.
Just nuzzled up.
Spooning, got a tail around you.
So you all go to sleep. And Kai, your sleep is not as restful. Past couple of days have been fine. Maybe it was the drinking, but tonight your eyes open. There's a storm coming, everyone. that one was Eversource letting us know there's a storm.
The look of irritation
I was
that
like,
you just had.
come on.
I felt like a school child again. It's like the teacher's mad.
This is supposed to be for if my children need help. I'm getting all these messages. You are in darkness. It's a familiar place, but you can feel in this darkness, although you looking down, looking to the side, there is nothing. It is a void. You cannot see yourself, but you can feel yourself moving forward. You don't seem to have control over the movement. You are just moving, and you have that feeling of movement like you're walking. That familiar, muscular movement of one foot in front of the other, even though, again, looking down, you cannot see your feet. There is no ground to walk on. It is just black and silent. And you continue to walk, unsure of how long, the movement just repeating. And as you continue through this void, you suddenly see a familiar face. That of the Raven Queen. In your vision, just there, the dark, feather-like appearance that kind of disappears and dissipates into the black behind her, and the mask that covers her face, white with eye openings where you can see her like piercing, like silver eyes coming through. And it comes down to a point that almost resembles like the beak of a bird, the beak of the raven comes down, so you can see just the edges of her jawline underneath that mask. And it's just there floating in front of you. But then as you look at it, it almost will fade to the side, as if being pulled out of your vision, or your head turning quickly away, and then it's there again. And as you continue walking and that movement, again, she'll be pulled to the side. And you can hear, as you continue to walk, this whisper. And it's all you've ever heard since she appeared to you the first time. This, and you can't quite make out what she's saying. As the whispers continue, it just keeps going. And every time her face appears in your vision, it is pulled to the side. And you just continue to walk. And just before your eyes open, in this long night of walking forever, you see just before you this like glow that begins and then spreads out, and in front of you a crystal stone, and embedded deep into it down to the cross guard there is a sword. And the crystal itself is glowing, but all around is still all of that darkness. And then your eyes open, and you can hear the shuffling of all of the people around you as it is now the 6th of Glee. So, you all wake up. Various times of the morning. It is loud in the rooms that you are in, but outside people are being told, like, stay inside. You can see as you look out the windows, like looking out into the town square, the guards are all like kind of making the rounds and just like telling folks, you know, stay inside. You can see some people out there going, you know, arms raised, like, do you know who I am, kind of stuff. But the guards, the soldiers are telling people to just stay. What are you up to?
The 3 of us are in the same room, right?
I think you were downstairs, but you're all in the same. You're all in the patient phase, so you can easily meet back up.
Should meet back up with Ayla and Iolite. They wanted to talk to us.
At the town command.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We should go.
What are you two up to?
Wake up and...
Morning.
A little bit of drool
Like-
on her face, and she's like,
She's perfect.
Like Anna again when she wakes up
Oh,
in
yeah.
the morning and frozen, the hair everywhere.
you can see now your hair is like probably a mixture, like about halfway back to the white with red on the ends.
No, still going.
It's going fast, but yeah, it's still.
And the blue is back too.
Yeah, the blue is coming in with the white.
I'll look around at all the people. We should.
It smells farty in there.
So sparkly.
Yeah, it's farty.
It would.
It would. We should freshen up and do whatever the hell it is we've agreed to do.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so you.
The dude who I kicked out of the bed, I would, as we get up, I would just point and go, "Oh, yours for the day."
Just kind of looks at you.
I just stare back at him and then walk away.
So heading downstairs, Kethra and her husband, Kilvar, I believe is his name, They are, I mean, it's full down there. There's people who slept in chairs and whatever. You see them opening up windows to try to get a breeze going through. But they are, they have made a little bit of food, or just like, you know, trying to make sure that they give everybody a little bit of something. Same thing at the patient fay. There's food there. There's pastries that were left over from the festival and whatnot, so you can grab a little bit of something. But they're being
grab
very
like a chocolate croissant.
yeah, from
A croissant.
the area.
A croissant.
They're being very like, you can have one thing because we don't know what's going on here or for how long. But yeah, you can grab some stuff, and then you're heading to the town command.
Meanwhile, what's her face is probably like tripled the price of that wine that we that we got for her.
So heading out into the town square, you do see Dan Perler is out and walking around, and he recognizes you as you just kind of like all come out. Says, "Good morning. Thank you for the help last night."
Was there any further trouble last night?
We heard a lot of things. I'll say a lot of things that none of us have ever heard the likes of before. Weird screeching sounds. Seen a lot, but nothing that sounded like this. Nothing came out of the woods, at least not to the village. I don't know if perhaps the light was helpful, but we have a couple of folks who have some decent magic abilities, so we were all right. To be honest, I don't really want to see whatever was making the noises that we heard. So.
No, you do not.
Have you heard back from Moswick?
I haven't gotten the update from Adrio, but my understanding is the stone that he has resets at dawn, so I would assume he's reached out. But Amaret is inside with Dafivi.
So that's where we are heading to.
Yeah. She's got Kaelin the hunter with her as well, so.
That's good.
No update on the little gnome that killed the other one?
We have not sent anyone out that way. I don't know if there was a plan, if Ami had a plan or not with you all, but we may look into Kaelin for that. I'm not sure how badly hurt the gnome was, so it's one of those, obviously we need answers, but it's dangerous out there right now.
Yes.
If they're bleeding, they could be a beacon for whatever's out there, so they might not have even made the night.
No.
Best we get to town command then.
Yes. It's a lovely day of no starting off with mimosas.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough for you.
It is not how I wanted to spend the Joy Festival.
No, I would imagine this isn't how any of us wanted to spend the Joy Festival, so.
I just want to go home. I am not supposed to be here.
I feel you. I'm sure by the end of the day we will have a plan for getting folks back home. But we need to hear from Moswick. There are not a lot of us here, on the island in general. We've got a couple of folks outside of Briarburn.
She instinctually squints when you say
And
that.
says, "Sorry, Summerland. We've got a couple of folks out on the tower set outside of that village. Moswick, at the very least, it's walled. Nothing else is walled on this island. So, anyway, I don't want to keep you. Just nods. As you head over to the town command, heading north.
We all have a distinct.
Yeah. I don't know why mine was like Conor McGregor.
The
Like,
different Final Fantasy VII walks. So as you head towards the town command, you can see one of the Cassian guard just kind of standing not standing guard over the blood trail that leads off to the north towards the
Yeah.
Joyous Ascension.
That guy's job all night. Guard this blood trail. Okay.
But it kind of leads north up towards the Joyous Ascension Cemetery, which is where there are shrines and where people are buried that you would know. It's maybe like a half mile away from the village, though. But they're just kind of standing there, you know, making sure that nobody comes and scuffs it up, or, you know, they don't know what's going on. So could be multiple people working together as far as they're aware. But you head north to the town command. Opening up the door, it is packed in there as well. You can hear Millie. She's like talking to people, like telling them to set things down, stand over there. Like she's just kind of micromanaging everything that's going on. And when she sees the 5 of you come in, she just is like, "Ah, come in." And she
How
just
does your
starts.
tongue move that fast to talk like that?
Isn't she like, what is she? She's like goblinoid or something?
She's a goblin.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So she just goes,
Little quick goblin tongue.
I was just
Let's
picturing
see
like
what
an
you
Edna
get.
mode. Like Goblin Edna mode.
Yeah, Goblin Edna, yeah.
What was that?
Goblin Edna mode.
and she's like, "He's waiting for you. Come on, let's go. You stop touching that." As she leads you into the back, where familiar office space. As she opens the door, you see Adrio is standing there, just looking. He's not standing. He's sitting at his desk, just looking like very overwhelmed. There's a stone on the table, just a mundane-looking stone. Doesn't look anything special.
Can you have like 5 o'clock shadow already this early in the morning?
Yeah, I mean,
He's like
you probably
his tie
would.
I'm sure unbutton his tie
It's all
undone.
rumpled.
Like
It's all
his-
rumpled, yeah.
Yeah, his hair is like normally is very brushed 100 times, is like a little bit like wild on the side. And standing beside the desk is Amaret, and then also Kaylin the hunter, that you are all familiar with, in addition to Dafifi, who is in the room as
Taking
well.
up half the room.
Yeah. And they just kind of all stop and look at you as you come in, and Adrio just like looks up at you as you walk in and is like, "Ah, wonderful. Welcome. We have a lot to discuss." And that's where we'll take a break.
Oh.